Guys, NFPlayer here, and this is my first sort of tips to do in Minecraft 1.7 Infinity Evolved. So as you can see, I'm quite through, bleh, talk enough, talk. I'm quite through the mod pack with Flux Infused Armor, so I'm sort of mid to late game in terms of armor and resources. This is a tiny little farm just because leather and feathers are bloody rare in this on the server for some reason. Little XP farm, easiest thing to build, just autonomous activators and that. I'll get to that when I talk about XP. So first thing you want to do in this mod pack is early generation of power, essentially. Well, first let's go for all doubling. So all doubling, the easiest way to do it. Where did I store it? I store it in there. Nope. Process not metals. No, it'd be crafted, won't it? Yep, crafted items. So, first thing we want to build is something called a smeltery. Now, smeltery is done by Tinker's Construct. So, Tinker's Construct. Oh, it is Tinker's Construct. Ah, okay. Cannot do my own language. So, yeah, so. This is the mod in its entirety. It involves making custom items, such as this, a hammer. But the main purpose you want to do it for early game is the smeltery, which will all double. So I'll just get it out just to demonstrate what it looks like. I'll just build it in front of here. So dun 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 dun. So the smallest one you can make is 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't think this through. Did I? No. Need some cobble. That. Done. Put tank there. And that is a smeltery. Obviously you'll need the drain there and the casting table. I hate this bug. There we go. There. So that is a smeltery, guys. All you do is you put the ores into there and it will double it up. You do need lava to drive it, so you will be needing a bucket. A bucket is just 3 iron, as you know, so it wouldn't be too hard, and you do find lava in the caverns and such, so it won't be too difficult to get that. So that's the first part of Tinker's Construct you want to make for all doubling. After that, the main way you want to all double is through machinery. Now what I tend to go for, let me just get all this cleared up, lag a bit because it's a server, come on, there you go, efficiency, pick is awesome, oh, bit too awesome, where's the, okay, done, is this little guy here, sag mill, oh, sort them out in a bit, the sag mill is your doubling mechanic from Ender.io. I feel like it's one of the best because it gives you extra bonuses to just all doubling very early on. And then you've got the alloy smell, which is just like a redstone furnace. Well, if you've not played through the beast, it's just a electric furnace essentially. Now to produce electricity, or redstone flux as it's called in the game, for this particular mod and all these items here, the most efficient way to do it is, where would it be? Did I throw it away? Oh, there it is. The survivalist generator. Now, the other one would be the mod zone one, which is the Stirling generator. Now, if we compare the two, so use a bit of coal, you can check how much RF it will generate and how many per tick. So, in the survivalist generator, each piece of coal or charcoal is 80,000 RF at 80,000 RF at 5 RF per tick, which isn't a huge amount of RF per tick, but a huge amount of RF you gain from it. Compare it to a Stirling generator, 16,000 RF at 20 RF per tick. So you do get more RF per tick, but you're using it 5 times faster. Well, you're producing 5 times less energy. So early on, you want to go from this guy here, because it will basically use up any form of charcoal or coal, preferably charcoal first, and that you'll have lying around for a big bunch of energy, whereas this guy won't. Later on, when you've got enough charcoal that you can change over to Stirling generator or better ones. But I personally stuck with I crafted the Stirling generator and realised how much of a numpty it was. So yeah, let me just sort out my inventory. Dum 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 dum. That's that sorted. Cool. Okay, after that, for power generation, so this is this early game that, I would recommend what I've done in my little, you won't be able to see it from the inside, whoops, yep, is this chappy, the water wheel. Now these are sets of 3, these are all from Immersive Engineering. All you need as a prerequisite is trees for wood, and if I can get there, this little chappy here, or the Railcraft version of a coke oven. And what that will produce is 1 coal coke, which burns twice as long, I think, twice as long as a normal bit of coal, as well as creosote ore. Now the creosote ore is what you do to make this puppy, because actually I might as well just go into any eye. Water wheel. This little puppy here just uses wood. Treated stick, so to make that, all you need is a bottle or bucket, preferably bucket because you can reuse it, of creosote ore, and then 8 planks. Very simple, and then you can make as many as you want, and then you just got to attach each of the sets to a kinetic dynamo, which is just copper, sticks, and iron and redstone. So very inexpensive. And each set of 3 generates 67 RF per tick. And all that needs to be done is you just got to place the water right, which is 1 back. You can't really see it that well, but you basically, at the midpoint of these wheels, you just put 1 block back, and that will give you plenty of water. Actually, yeah, it'll be in there. So this is 1 block back from the center of the wheels. And you just got to block it off behind it, and it will flow all the way around, producing all the RF it can possibly produce, which is 67 each. So I've got a total of 6 of these, so you will get 360 plus 42, so 402 RF per tick, which isn't too shabby if I do say so myself. And for this wood and a bit of iron in that, it does require a lot of space, I'll give you, but other than that, it does look also awesome. Late game, I am going to go biodiesel, but I'll demonstrate that in a later video, because I haven't constructed it yet. But yeah, that is early game power generation or doubling. You can go lava power, because basically, sorry for that guys, the recording just stopped for some reason. With this chappy here, the endothermic pump, it basically produces virtually lag-free, chunk-loaded pump. That, oh, you won't be able to get that, but for this server you can use it to craft an infinite lava tank because they really want to reduce the amount of lag. But you won't need to do that. You just need this puppy and 2 of these. Or a Tesseract. Tesseract tend to be a lot harder to get than these guys, so I'll go for Ender Storage, Ender Tanks first, which are this chappy here. So they require blades, rods, obsidian, and ender pearl. So you will have to hunt around for it, but for infinite lava, you can't really say no. And you can essentially use the lava generators from either. Lava generators are from either. You can go for the extra utilities ones, or because they produce a tiny bit less than the. Oh, I cannot remember. I'm gonna have to go for yeah, here we go. They are the magmatic dynamos. There it is. Yeah. So that produces slightly more RF protect, but can only do it one output, whereas the generators can do any which way, any side. So it depends on what you need it for. But that would produce infinite energy, but at about 40 RF protect, I think. And I just think it's a bit not cheaty, but a bit easy. So I didn't go for lava this time. I'm only using it to produce obsidian and cobblestone. So yeah, that's early game power generation and early game. That's my train of thought. Early game ore doubling as well. And I still use the sag mill. You can upgrade it with dark steel balls, which basically gives you bonuses like such, and you can get capacitors, which basically increase the amount of speed, so it speeds it up. There are better ore mechanics out there. Like you can get. My favourite doubling mechanic is in Rotary Craft, which sadly isn't in this mod pack, but it is a really good mod. I would look it up if I were you. It's all about, instead of having like single block things like this, well you do have single block things, but instead of having like electricity, which is a bit sort of finicky, you have rotary motion in that. I'll probably do a spotlight on that, or at least this little thing later down the line when honestly I can be bothered. If I'm brutally honest. But yeah, in my next video I'll explain XP and enchanting in this mod pack and the easiest way to go about it. Alright? Hope you enjoyed the video, and like, favorite, subscribe and all that jazz.